There's no better feeling than a personal win, and the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you do just that. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune in to Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
375.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
Well, the Minnesota Twins reached the halfway point of the season last night by blowing another game, Tommy. They're now 11 games under 500, and everyone is... we can't be heaping more ridicule on them than we are right now, but now everyone's irate because the only place to watch the game is on Facebook Live, which is comical, is it not? Everything that's been written, what are you saying now,
Well,
Reavers?
I know you and I are going to disagree with this because I'm in the camp that thinks that this is absurd. Because, Pat, in order to stream this game, you have to have a Facebook account, which I know you're having. We discussed this at length yesterday.
Well, actually, I registered for Facebook this morning, but this had nothing to do with it. I was trying to read somebody else's stuff.
I thought you were creeping on some women or something over there.
Once you go to the link provided by the Twins baseball Facebook account, it brings you to a website called Live Sports Nation. It says Minnesota Twins at Milwaukee Brewers Live Baseball, June 3rd, 2018. Watch online now, okay?
Hold on. I'm watching the preview show on Facebook right now.
You're on Facebook. You didn't have to go to a secondary site.
No, I think you might have a virus over there, Reavers.
No, it's not a virus because this was on the Twins Facebook page. How did you pull it up then, Tom?
I searched Twins Game Live on Facebook, and it took me to something that currently 6,300 people are watching. Apparently, LaTroy Hawkins is one of the commentators.
Yes, right. So you're watching it. So
I'm not on the game. I'm on the pregame show, so maybe it's going to kick me out. But it's MLB Live is the Facebook account that's streaming.
There was no indication in the story that we ran today in the Star Tribune that you had to pay.
Well, wasn't you remember the Gopher basketball game where they ended up playing 5-on-3 against Alabama?
Mm-hmm. That was
Colin
on
Sexton. That was
else.
on.
That wasn't Facebook. That was.
I thought it was. I thought you could.
Somebody said
on Facebook,
stadium, some stadium.
I just think it's great that the kid won the chance to call this game on play-by-play.
Who's that?
I don't know. He's 12. Looks good in that blazer.
I think MLB sent him in. I don't know who he is, but that's Bill Schroeder from the Brewers. And LaTroy doing it. So I'm glad we didn't panic him there. One thing about you, Chris, you're very calm about these kind of things.
Right.
And never rush into them.
That is true.
Never rush into them.
Well, because
are you now watching the game?
No, I still haven't been able to pull it up. But when you pull up the stream...
Could be the fact we have a 37-year-old computer, too. But
well, it's not that, because I'm able to pull up the actual page. But there is a thing that's attached to this called Watch Online Now, where you can watch it for free, but it has you provide a credit card number. And that was attached to the Twins Facebook page. It's called Live Sports Nation.
Now, I wonder, though, if you don't have an account.
I'm wondering if that's the case, too.
Patrick, I'm searching for you. You said you signed up for Facebook. I'm not finding you here.
Well, I did. I was previously signed up under one of my media outlets signed me up 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. I never had a password. And I think that's under my other name. So, I mean, that's under my Patrick Royce. So I came up with something else.
Don't worry. The Russians have been using that to hack into
I used something else to register. So
you're registered under Sid Hartman.
No, well, I don't know if he's on there, too. But anyway, my electronic message I received today was from Amtrak, asking me how I enjoyed my experience.
Oh, my God.
And being the gentleman that I am, I did not respond. I did not respond. I should have said, send me a check for blank amount, and then I'll tell you I had a good experience.
No, you should have filled it out, and then that first question would have been, what did you think about the departure time? Liked it a lot? Disliked it a lot? Or hated it?
Yeah, well,
knew it was going to be 2 hours
late. 2 hours late. Yes, that didn't go good. So it is humorous, though. I guess those of us who grew up as Twins fans in the 60s, when we had 20 games a year on TV, can't get quite as traumatized about one game out of a 162 not being on a television outlet.
It wasn't that long ago
television.
either.
Well,
I remember growing up in the 80s, it was a lower number.
I think this is only the second year where they've given you all of them. They would have some random weekday games in the summer that weren't on TV at all. So,
right.
And this would have been one of them in the olden days. But
how far back are we talking?
3 years ago, they didn't. I think last year was the first year they had all 162 on TV, or the year before that. So, it's I can't agree that it's such a horrible decision for them to make. And the other thing is, the people 7-8 years ago, until they signed their new FSN contract, they would put 20, 25 games on free TV, because we still in the Twin Cities have a lot of
They'd put
cable,
on like the old 929 deal, right?
They put it on, and they stopped doing that with their new FSN deal and gave it to them exclusively. So those people, the old tight-fisted Swedes from Minneapolis who used to, get to watch 20 games a year, they don't get to watch any now because they're all on cable.
Well, we talk about the Facebook, the game being on Facebook, and what a travesty this is for certain people. 10 years from now, we're going to be surprised when the game's not on Facebook or streaming on Twitter or like some other thing, because that's the direction everything's going.
Didn't the NFL do that with one game?
The NFL, as they've done broadcast games on Yahoo, they've broadcast games on Twitter.
Yes.
And a lot of different. Exclusively, too, right?
Yes. I believe it's an Amazon contract now.
All the Thursday games, right? When they put like the Thursday night games on Twitter?
But what I'm saying is, were they on there and then nothing else?
There have been some. There was a Yahoo game for sure that I recall. I'd have to go through all the memos that we've gotten about all the different packages. But if you think about it, sports like the NFL in particular, baseball is different because all of the teams have their own local one, whether they own and operate it or whether it's a partnership deal like the Twins and FSN. The NFL is driven by these multi-billion-dollar television contracts.
Sure, right.
Well, as overall subscription to cable services declines, what they figure out is, okay, we may not get that multi-billion-dollar deal now, but we can get a whole bunch of smaller deals from all these different outlets. And instead of having, 4 broadcast networks competing, you have hundreds and hundreds of websites all who want live sports content, which is the one thing that people won't fast forward through the commercials on.
Yes, and the 7-8 years ago, it's been part of the language, cord cutters, and the number keeps getting larger and larger. And for anyone under 30, at least, maybe older, this is not an issue. And watching it on.
We got a Roku TV in here.
Yes, you could watch it on here if you want.
This is the latest too, by the way. They have a new TV. That's the latest and greatest technology. They took the old one
from
out.
TCL, we might add.
Yes.
In fact, if any of us knew how to do it, we could probably go on to Facebook and watch the Twins right now.
You could. Not probably, you could.
So give me about 45 minutes here, Pat. Okay. We'll see what we can pull off here.
Okay. All right. If we do this, we don't want the antenna.
Let's see.
Yeah, we'll be doing play-by-play of Tom trying to pull up.
Anyway, we'll take a break and see if Tom can pull this off or not. I know that the guy who usually sits in the chair probably wouldn't have been able to do that.
No, I don't think he would not have the patience for it.
No. All right. Man, I wish the mayor was here watching this process. We're getting there. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. But Manny, you're already watching the game on Facebook?
Yes, I'm watching it on Facebook on my phone right now, and I got a little notification that says Chris Long, Tom Pelissero, and 4 others are watching with you.
And it's see, there's stuff going on out there that some of us don't know anything about.
But the confusing part is rookie Manny, Johnny, and I all went to the exact same Facebook page. Manny and John were both able to pull up the game, and on that computer that Rookie's using, and on my computer, it takes us to a different page that says you have to sign up for Access Baseball Now, which is extremely odd.
Is that a Hubbard, one of our ancient?
No, because John has the same computer that Rookie has right here.
Now, the only thing that I will say that's a little annoying about this, because I'm watching it on my phone right now, is that the comments, the Facebook comments, because it's basically like a Facebook Live video.
And they said you could hide them if you wanted to.
I think so, but I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
I saw that.
Annoying.
LaBelle wrote a story about it this morning in the Star Tribune, and they said you can hide the comments if you want to.
Okay.
I find it a little disturbing that it would give you who else is watching it that you know. If you were watching something a little less family-friendly than the Twins game, Manny's watching this too.
Yes. Right. Well, I see Facebook options there, but
Pat,
I don't know what this is.
If you wouldn't mind, I know Tom was bringing up a pretty hard-hitting topic during GL that might be able to help us navigate through this hour of sports talk. Are you willing to take a call, sir?
I don't know what's the topic.
Let's talk to Gil really quick.
Up north?
Yep.
Up north.
Hey, back there, Gil.
Gil, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm good, Gil.
Quick question.
Nice to hear from you again. Are you ready for the holiday?
The 4th?
Yeah, the 4th.
Oh, yeah. I got a couple of...
You going to St. Paul for the fireworks, Gil?
No, they ain't got none. They ain't got none this year. What is it? The mayor said he's got to put more bike lanes or something like that, but he's not going to have any. He's not going to have any fireworks, so we're not going to sit over by. We usually go to the east side. Mm-hmm. I got a brother-in-law that lives over there, over by the old Hams Brewery.
Yeah, right.
It's closed now, but we used to, in the 70s.
Yeah. We'd
sit right out there, watch the boom, boom, boom.
Okay, all right.
I got a question for you. How the hell do I watch this game tonight? I want to.
You got a Roku TV.
I really want to see it because I want to see that Bauer's not going to play tonight. Right?
It's on, Gil. It's on right now. You can't wait around till the night. You got to watch it right now.
I thought the game was tonight.
No, it's a day game. It's a day game.
It's on the Fox.
You know how they had Canada Day?
Yeah, up north.
Well, they got Wisconsin has their own. They got Beer Day. That's a special holiday before the July 4th. That's why it's an afternoon game today.
Well, what the hell? They're sitting around drinking beers and they're going to light up fireworks?
No, Milwaukee probably has fireworks. I don't know, Gil.
They open that lid for the fireworks and they keep them inside.
Mm-hmm. Gil, beyond Mauer, what other issues do you see with the Twins?
They got to improve their pitching.
Yeah.
These guys are throwing 80 pitches and they're trying to pitch the contact. I don't understand this. These umpires, they keep that box.
Yeah.
They keep that box right there. You can see that they're wrong. Somebody should be tapping the guy on the shoulder and say, hey, buddy, it's outside. You call it a strike. I think it should be like Family Feud. Once they get 3 strikes, they're out.
The umpire.
Yeah, Big Red X over the whether it's on the Facebook or the TV. Big Red X, they're on. Get the hell out of here.
Gil? Did you enter the up north debate? Do you, when somebody tells you they're going up north, where do you think they should? What's the cutoff for up north, Gil?
Well, you got to be up north. You got to be up north where they got those deer flies.
Yeah.
That just bite the hell out of you.
That's up north.
But you can get your revenge because they're so fat and slow you can smack them on the next go-round. And I know they're coming back because I see the guy, they look the same. But if you're up north, you're not up north if you don't have big, huge deer flies that are the size of your thumb. You swat those guys, you can get them.
Yeah. They're mean, though. You don't want to mess with them in the spring because they're quick then.
You're exactly right, Patrick. But I'm gonna tell you, you go up to your family up north.
Yeah,
I got a buddy of mine. His cousin's got a cabin on the chain. What is it? The Cross Lake.
Yeah, okay.
And we'll go up there, and hell, we sleep in the garage.
Okay.
He only got about a 2-bedroom, and they got about 17 people up there. We just sleep in the garage. It's okay. He got one of those. He's got a screen, and he just pulls down to the garage.
Yeah.
No bugs.
Oh, good.
No
That's,
bugs.
that's good. How about crawling?
You can hear those.
Crawling stuff on the garage floor, though?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I sleep in the upper bunk.
Okay.
It's like a Murphy bed.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what doesn't shut up. Those frogs. Those frogs do not shut up all night. All night they go.
That's right. And if you're really unlucky, you get a loon too. They won't shut up either.
Yeah, those things, but they're always in the middle of the lake. You can't catch those.
No, that's true, Gil.
They're pretty quick.
Well, Gil,
they're pretty quick.
Gil, you got to go to Facebook Live to watch the Twins right now.
Yeah, I got no shot. I'm gonna have to call my brother.
Okay.
I think it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Steve.
Okay, all right.
You do birthdays or no?
Yeah, we take note of them.
You tell Steve happy birthday.
Hey, Steve, happy birthday.
Okay, see, I gotta go. The guys are calling.
Okay, all right.
Can I get another ham?
All right.
God.
We haven't been able to make her here.
You know,
yet.
deer flies, that was the first time that entered the debate.
yes.
If you don't see deer flies, that's a
flies
good
are the
point, Tom.
That's a pretty good idea. They're mean, man. They are mean.
Now, does the dryer sheet work with deer flies? That's the old tale. If you put a dryer sheet in your hat,
No, you
never
just
heard
look
that
like
one.
an idiot.
No, that's.
I knew my dad was setting me up.
I'd rather have a deer fly than walk around with a dryer sheet.
I'm walking around with the dryer sheet. It's over for me. I'm not doing it.
Yes.
I'm not pulling that one off.
That's true. Well, we're still trying here, but
We may have hit a bit of a roadblock.
We might have to go back and watch the soccer game. Anybody? Do you know what is stupid about soccer?
Oh, well,
Among the many things,
What's
when
top?
they go overtime in this game, like, okay, now they're in overtime. It's not sudden death.
It should be sudden
It's
death.
30 minutes.
It's 30 minutes.
In
yeah.
other words, if you score and make it 2-1,
You might have 27 minutes.
you still got it. Why don't they make it sudden death? Because there's not that many scores in there.
Right. Thank God somebody finally scored, and then we can be done.
Yes, right. And we sure as hell don't want somebody else to score. Nothing worse than playing overtime and then going to the phony penalty kicks.
And you know what they should be doing? They should bring back that with these penalty kicks in overtime. They should bring back that commercial where the guy keeps getting hit with the ball.
Oh yeah,
I know it was fake,
That
but
was
it was
pretty
still
good.
funny as hell.
That was
they
pretty
put him
good.
up in a chair, and he still gets hit in the face.
He's on the gurney.
He's on the gurney, and he gets hit.
I never saw that ad. Who
Oh
was that?
yeah,
I'll bring it up.
howled more than any of us did. That was. I'll find it. That was pretty good.
Now, Pat, I will say, I think in pool play, I think it's still probably okay to have them play like the full 30 minutes because of
in pool play because
they figure in goal
take
differential
They
and-
take the draw and goal. They don't play overtime.
right. But I mean,
But in knockout,
right in knockout, it should be sudden death. But in
Yes.
pool play, I mean, because they factor in for tiebreakers, they factor in like goal differential and how many goals teams have. And all
Rook,
that
it's
stuff.
called the top.
you know, we did have one tiebreaker though that was the fair play tiebreaker. The fair play tiebreaker. The team that had the least yellow cards and red cards advanced.
Really?
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I just found it.
What?
I found the video.
Of the
It's
goalie?
pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, but we got.
No, we'll have to take a break, but it's funny because the guy is this is the third kick,
He seems to be curling up to protect his face. Not exactly a recommended
and then it
technique,
just
But here it goes. Wait, no. Lampert needs to tie his shoe. Oh, and that's why you.
so now he peeks to see if he's kicked yet because he was waiting. He looks. He waited. He was hiding. The guy tied his shoe. Well, look at slow mo. He turns around. Yes.
All right, we better see what Brucey's up to.
All right, we'll come back. Sports Talk is going to come back. And right now we've got Bruce Vail with the Your Money Now report. Bruce, you got to power down and power back up. His Your Money Now report comes to us courtesy of Owatonna's own Federated Insurance.
I believe Bruce also just now got kicked in the face with a soccer ball. Is that true?
That wouldn't be the first time. Bruce Vail with the Your Money Now report. Brucey.
You know, when you play for the Colombian team, when you lose in overtime, sometimes it is sudden death. But that's a different way of looking at it down there.
That's a completely different thing.
I think so. Stocks gave up some early gains today. The market turned lower late in the day. We did have an abbreviated trading session. It saw the Dow Jones Industrial Average fall 132 points to 24,174. The Nasdaq Composite fell 65 points. The S&P 500 dropped 13. Amazon is once again expanding its midsummer sales day for members of its Prime program. The fourth annual Prime Day will run 36 hours beginning at noon, July 16th. Only Prime members can buy stuff, but people can sign up for membership anytime before or during the sale or opt for a 30-day free trial. There's a new game show coming that aims to ease the financial burdens of its winners. A comedy game show called Paid Off will debut on True TV later this month. The show will feature 3 contestants who compete in 3 rounds of trivia. The winner will then go on to a final round where he or she will answer more questions with a chance to wipe out his or her entire student debt, regardless of how high it is. I'm Bruce Vail with your money now on 1500 ESPN.
All right, thanks, Bruce. This traffic, if I had any time to give it to you, would be brought to you by Jersey Mike's Subs. If meat and bread are the backbone of a sub, then Mike's Way is the heart and soul. Lettuce and tomatoes, onions and spices, all drizzled in the juice. That's the difference. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
Manny, how are those Fighting Twins doing? Did they get a bunch of runs?
They are scoreless. Hang on, my phone.
My computer says Manny's no longer watching.
I think I'm back in for a second. Yeah, bottom of the first, no score, and the Brewers have a runner on first.
Well, we got Jake Odorizzi against, I don't know who's pitching for the
Junior
bad guy.
Guerrera.
Guerrera. He's not too bad. He's got pretty good stuff. What do you got for us, Johnny Height?
The Twins in the first inning did get a double from Polanco, and then Astudillo hit one to the fence to end the inning. But it was caught, run down.
Poor Willie. Willie booted one at third base yesterday, though, to make it 5-4, right? Or tied it. Then he... No.
I did not see that.
I think he had an error. Yeah, he had an error. My guy, Willie, asked to doodle.
Did you see where he's playing today?
Where?
He's playing at second base today.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Fattest second baseman we've ever had.
Doesn't matter. You know why? Because that boy puts the ball in play.
He does.
Who else is on that list, Pat? Fattest second baseman.
Fattest second baseman.
I'm trying to think.
Al Newman played a decent amount over there.
Cuddy was a
bigger guy.
Brick outhouse, but he played some second. Yeah. That first year he came up. In fact, I think in the Oakland playoff series, he was the second baseman in 2002.
Huh.
Anyway.
Cloudy, rain around the Twin Cities, 75 degrees. Twins, as we said, zip. They're in the bottom of the first in Milwaukee. World Cup action. Sweden shuts out Switzerland 1-0. Colombia and England are, they're still, I almost said skating again. I don't know why I always want to say skating. They're still playing.
You don't skate in soccer.
It's 1-1.
And Colombia scored in about the 92nd minute, right? It was extra time, and they tied it.
Yes.
The London tabloids will not take this well if the Englishmen do not advance.
Minnesota United with a holiday game tomorrow. You'll hear it right here. They're playing Toronto FC at TCF Bank Stadium. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff tomorrow, 1500.
Johnny,
ESPN. Yeah.
As you well know, Toronto FC is the defending MLS Cup champion.
Well, who doesn't know that?
What kind of a year are they playing up to those standards again this year or not?
Come on, John.
Yeah. They need to play Detroit football or soccer.
This is when we need Gil. He could tell us.
Gil would let us
I don't know if he watches soccer.
Gil might not watch soccer.
News notes from today. A Farmington man has been charged with second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon after authorities say he caused substantial bodily harm to a woman he lived with on June 21st. 63-year-old Alan James Midener is now facing up to 10 years in prison. Oof. According to the complaint, Farmington police dispatched to the report of an assault. When they got there, they made contact with the injured woman. The complaint said the woman had several cuts on her head, neck, torso, arms, and legs. A medical aid was provided. Law enforcement took a recorded statement from a witness who indicated she had observed what happened. The witness said Midener had come running out of the apartment complex in which both he and the victim resided. He confronted the victim, who began screaming and running away. The witnesses observed Midener pursue the victim and swing at her. They heard the victim scream for help, saying He's stabbing me. According to the witnesses, the victim fell to the ground in the parking lot, continued to struggle as Meidener stood over her, slashing at her body and head. The assault only ended after a male third party approached and demanded that he stop. He then returned to the apartment complex. After law enforcement made their way into the complex, he was arrested and taken in to custody. He remains in custody. A man arrested for operating a motor vehicle under the influence for the 10th time in Wisconsin on Sunday. According to a news release from the Wisconsin State Patrol, at about 10:30 in the evening, a trooper observed a vehicle speeding. The driver, 46-year-old Raymond Franklin Brissett from Bayfield, Wisconsin, was stopped. Signs of intoxication detected, and Brissett was arrested
Number 10, you said?
Number 10. Arrested for operating a motor vehicle under the influence, his 10th offense.
I take it he didn't have a license either, John.
I don't know how you
probably did not have a license.
He was not charged with that, but I don't know how he could have a license.
Now, this has nothing to do with drunken driving, but I was walking into a place of business today, Tom, and there was a elderly woman who had an arthritic type of situation where she was kind of bent over. And from her toes to the top of her head, she might have been 3'8". Jumped in the car and took off. I was saying, good luck to everybody who might have encountered.
Thank you for that public service to let us know she's out there.
Encountered that situation.
I did think of you, Patrick, at my local Walgreens the other day. They have a new employee who's about a 17-year-old gal, very friendly, very nice. But the first thing out of her mouth was, "How are you today? Do you have any plans tonight?" I immediately thought,
"Oh, today is you have no chance of being served, for want of a better word, today without somebody asking you got any plans for the 4th, right?
Yep. I said that earlier. I think it's a law here for 3 days leading up to it.
Yes,
breaking silence instead of asking about the weather like the other 362 days a year. It's, do you have plans for the 4th?
Yeah.
And the sign off is always, have a great 4th.
Yeah, have a great 4th.
The worst is when somebody asks you, what are you doing for the 4th? And you say, I got plans going up north doing this. What are you doing? Nothing.
I got this again the other day.
Am I supposed to invite you along now? What's the etiquette here?
I got this the other day, which reminded me of Minnesotans' irresistible urge to compliment you, even if it's total BS. Like, again, I got the other day, boy, I listen to you and Joe every Saturday.
Yeah, right.
From that's 5 years now?
Oh, it's been longer than that.
Since the mayor and I were together. Yeah.
That was my favorite email from the guy up in whatever station he was listening to. Who's the guy filling in for Joe when Judd had been on Saturdays for about 3 years?
I have a Steve McQueen. It's a Facebook post that a St. Paul cop I know has got on his Facebook page, but it will appear in the Krabby Coffee Shop.
Yeah.
It's Steve McQueen having a cup of coffee, and it says, "Coffee doesn't ask me stupid questions in the morning. Be more like coffee." That one, when that opens up, that's going to be another poster that's behind the bar.
A second-town mayor in the Philippines has been shot and killed by an unknown assailant a day after one was assassinated by a sniper in a brazen daylight attack. Mayor Ferdinand Bote in the town of General Tino in Nueva Ecija province was gunned down by a motorcycle-riding suspect. Bote appears to have been the victim of a drive-by shooting in which he was struck multiple times while riding in his Toyota Fortuner. Bote was declared dead on arrival. The killing comes just 24 hours after Tanauan City Mayor Antonio Halili was killed by a single shot to the chest while attending a flag-raising ceremony. Halili was a controversial ally of President Rodrigo Duterte, who gained notoriety for his policy of parading people arresting for drug offenses. It was revealed that Halili had been stripped of his authority over local police in October 2017 on an order from the Department of the Interior. It's unclear at this point if the two deaths are linked.
Which political person was this guy? Still a buddy of
still a president? Yes, of the president.
Too. The guy who the other day said God is dumb, right?
Yes, he's kind of a goofball.
Kind of a Catholic.
Don't mess with Carmela.
Kind of a Catholic country, at
Pat,
least.
Glad you got your back to the TV right now as the There was just a huge collision when a player was walking by the goaltender, and the goaltender just threw himself to the ground in an attempt to draw a penalty. Did not work.
I think they practice. They must practice the pratfalls,
Kind of like wrestling.
don't you think? Oh, yeah, it's like wrestling.
And when I walk by, you go.
It's Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Mighty Ducks.
Practice the falls.
Just in time for the 4th of July holiday, visitors to the National Mall in Washington, D.C. have built a giant American flag out of Lego bricks. The flag spans 16 feet by 31 feet, put together by more than 2,800 people who stopped by the park starting on June 29th, according to the Trust for the National Mall. The National Mall wrote on Twitter, "We the people built this country, and this flag made entirely out of Lego bricks." It was set up just in front of the Lincoln Memorial. The community building project is part of the Lego Americana Roadshow, a traveling installation of Lego replicas of iconic buildings and architectural structures. Visitors to the National Mall can also check out miniaturized versions of the park structures, including the Lincoln Memorial, the Jefferson Memorial, and the Washington Monument.
Do you know that there's a club, Johnny, called, I think, AFOL, AFOL?
Okay.
Adult Friends of Legos.
I did not know that.
Very big club. Yes, they
Wow.
adults who still build stuff with their Legos.
Is that like a Furby convention?
I don't know. I think I've been to a Furby convention.
Yes, you have.
By accident. And I think I'd hang around the Lego guys before I hang
Before the
around
Furbies? Okay, good to know.
Furbies.
What about a Furby that did Legos?
Furbies sitting in the bar drinking makes me nervous.
In their outfits, they sit in the bar?
Oh, hell
Oh,
yes.
God,
Yeah.
that's...
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
William
you live around
Penn
here.
in Pittsburgh. We were at the William Penn in Pittsburgh. They had a Furby convention.
Can I buy you a drink, Roof?
Yeah, rough. All right.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Firecrackers, fireworks, and fun. It also means plenty of business for me. Hi, I'm Paul from Paul's Prosthesis Palace. Try saying that 3 times twice. Over the 4th, business is booming. Enjoy the explosive patriotic fun and light them up. Then assess the damage and come into my store to save on all prosthetics and artificial body parts. Choose from the area's best selection of finger replacements, artificial eyebrows, all expressions in stock, including surprised and pensive. Save on body molds, wrist joints, knuckle sockets, glass eyes, multi-ethnicity skin grafting kits, lip coverings, eardrum nerve damage pads, toe attachment adhesive, and fancy scar cream. The 4th of July is risky, but America is great, and nobody sells more prosthetics than Paul's Prosthesis Palace. So after the barbecues and the fiery celebrations, we'll turn your carelessness and misfortune into savings. I'm Paul. When almost new will have to do. Shop Paul's Prosthesis Palace. Have a happy 4th.
Colombia just scored on their first penalty kick, and now England is going to try it. We don't have time for a real discussion on this, but Tom, you cover the NFL, which is the most popular league in America because of violence and and unpredictability, right?
I'm glad you came up with a second item for the reason for the popularity.
Unpredictability is a big thing of it.
Sure.
Does it shock you at all, the popularity of the NBA with its total lack of unpredictability? It's as one of America's great examples of the meaning of star power in the modern society. This off season for the NBA is bigger than the season because where's somebody going? It's incredible.
I was hosting yesterday on Sirius XM NFL Radio, me and Brady Quinn doing the show, and we did a solid hour talking about the idea of the NBA because all the money, all the good players are all going to the Western Conference.
Yes.
Do they need to get rid of the conference alignments, everything, and just have the best teams get in the playoffs so the Lakers and the Warriors, as they're probably going to do, can end up meeting in the NBA Finals. It's such a difficult comparison, I think, across sports. One of the things the NBA really has going for it is the players don't wear helmets. You know what their faces look like.
There's only 5 of them. It's a small area.
Up close and personal to the entire game. You identify more with the individual players. There's far fewer just players in the NBA, period, much less star players within the NBA. with the NFL, I think that it is. I mean, the parity, as much as the Patriots go to the Super Bowl about 2 out of every 3 years, there is still a level of you have that opportunity, right?
Yeah, well, the Vikings think they're going to the Super Bowl this year, and so do 12 other teams, right?
No, and year after year, you see teams go from last place in the division to first. Somebody breaks through, and all of a sudden they make a run. The Falcons come out of nowhere and get to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. The Eagles this past season, not being a good team and getting in. I think that there's that part of it, the idea that it's the same reason the NFL draft gets bigger ratings than almost any game in any other sport. Because you're thinking one player can turn the fortunes of this entire franchise, namely a quarterback.
And there's only the only 2 sports whose draft means anything are the NBA and the NFL. I mean, the NFL's huge. The NBA only has 2 rounds, and they get rid of it in one night. But they were having a hockey draft the other day, and okay, never hurt anybody.
Right. So you'll come over from Sweden in 5 years.
Everybody, people who follow it know 5 people in the NHL draft, and they know 5 people in the MLB draft. So the draft,
typically with the NFL and the NBA, with rookies, you're typically going to see more of an immediate impact from the best first-year players. Yeah, typically.
Sure. I think another big difference with the NBA is if you are following, it doesn't matter where you live in the country, if you are a fan of LeBron, you're a fan of James Harden, you're a fan of the Warriors, whatever it is, you can see virtually all their games on national TV. Yeah. You tune in on any given night, there's a game on TNT and TBS and ESPN.
And Facebook Live.
You might have how many games? Manny, you'd know better than I would. How many nationally televised Warriors games were there last year?
Oh, my gosh.
35? 40?
At least.
It's a high number.
At least,
Whereas even if you're a Patriots fan, you might get 5. Now, you can get DirecTV Sunday Ticket and all that, but point is, every single night, if you like 3 players in the league, you can probably find one of them playing on TV. The NFL, it's far more spread. So I think you get to know the storylines, you get to know the players, the personalities, the teams, and somehow that pays off to developing the narrative, which the NBA really needs to be able to overcome the fact that you know how the movie's going to end.
We had a discussion yesterday about how upset ESPN with all their NBA shows and everybody else with all their NBA shows has to be that LeBron didn't drag it out. That on the first available day, he said, I'm going to the Lakers, because they wanted to tell us for a month what the rumor was of where LeBron was going.
It would be very strange after, 3-4 years of being in Cleveland every single day. You're there weekly if you're a national NBA reporter, you're doing games, to going, I'll never come to Cleveland again. I guess I'm going to LA. There's people who are going to have to move because of this.
Our buddy Ash is going to end up spending a lot of time in other places than he did. All righty, we shall return. This is Sports Talk. England advances with penalty kicks. Now, they had the first miss. So Colombia was leading 3-2 after 3 rounds of the kicks. And then the English guy came up with a save. England tied it. The English goalie came up with another save. And England won it, so England advances.
Why
Colombia
are they all taking their shirt off now, though? Is that's a trend for soccer? I don't
know. I'm sure that I don't think Colombia, with Pablo and the drug cartels not running the whole country anymore, will kill anybody when he gets back. But the guy number 7 who missed the last penalty kick, he's in trouble. I don't know if he plays with an international team somewhere else.
Maybe just go back to Spain
I think I just stay there
lay low for a little bit
for the rest of my time. You'll have to look up the tabloids if you want to see overwrought, overpraised tribute to the Englishman for this victory. One of my more interesting scams as a sports writer was to convince the Star Tribune that I should be at Valderrama in Spain for the Ryder Cup, because it was Lehman's first time. So I was there, but we were flying back and stopped in England the next day, and the Euros had defeated the U.S. 14-13, and it was as if they displaced Napoleon. I mean, it was the courage displayed by the European golfers was just unbelievable. What this meant. It is astounding what international sport means in Europe or virtually any other place except here. You know, international sport is a nice little preoccupation for us, but it's not our deal.
You think that's because of the sheer size? The fact that you have all sorts of interregional rivalries within the U.S.
Sure.
So once it gets onto the world stage, we go,
Yeah.
Or it's because we're not good at any of the sports that matter.
That could be. That could be. But what I'm saying is international sport. I mean, cricket, for God's sakes. They get very overwrought about cricket and everything else. It's and even Canada is much more into international sport than we are. So
how's our cricket program going?
I don't think too well. Although, if you want to watch a little cricket, there'll be a big July 4th tournament down there at Bryn Mawr Park. But boy, do they take long breaks. They're not. I met some of these fellas. They're in no hurry. They play for however many rounds or whatever it is, and then they take about an hour picnic, and then they start playing again.
I sometimes just see them. You're driving on the highway, and there'll be a cricket match taking place, but they're so far apart. I'm not even sure if you realize. Like Bill left. Oh, he did? He's been standing out there. Nothing's happened over his way for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize.
It is an interesting game. Well, you're going up north. So
I am. I think we've proved it.
Very good luck. What kind of shape is the lake in at this time of year? Sometimes when it gets hotter, those lakes start growing stuff.
Last time I was there on Memorial Day, the water was way out. They hadn't had any precipitation, so you just had a bunch of marshland. You basically had no beach. It was just 5 feet of marsh.
We should be good with all the rain we've had lately. All right, Tommy, thank you.
Thanks, Patrick.
And have a good 4th.
What are you doing for the 4th?
Well, I don't know.
I had to ask you. It's
right.
legal.
Thank you.
Waiting for his liner. 1500 ESPN is KSTP St. Paul, Minneapolis, 75 degrees. Happy 4th of July.